Speedway. I'm Nate Pennington, and it is Kids Night. As you see, the kids are coming across the track for kids' rides in the race cars. One of the most popular events here at this track all season long. The track and the drivers really get into this. It's all for the kids. So we're going to show you the sights and sounds of some of the Kids Night activities, and then we'll get on with the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Super Late Models, Limited Sportsman, Street Stocks, plus the Wing Sprint Cars are here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this tape from Penstroke Productions at the track.
All right, walk across.
Okay. I want to put her up there. Okay. But one at a time and check. I don't need it. Come on, Chris. Come on, Nicholas.
Charlie Stevens, and this Stevens guy is no spring chicken, folks. He'd been around the racetrack a couple times. Bob Foster starts inside of row number 2. Bob Foster in car 91. Outside on car 44, Paul Hemrick. Paul Hemrick in 44. Then we've got Dave Saxer in 93, and on the tail Jeff Gibson in car number 3. 6 laps for the first 305 Wing Sprint Car Heat Race. We want to welcome you out to Columbus Motor Speedway. Thanks to Auto Body Supply. Welcome to all those employees out here. Also, Jack Maxson Chevrolet and Jake's High Performance. We're ready to get down to it. Kids Night at the races. The wing sprint cars prepare to do battle. 6 laps. That's Jerry Embody in car number 6. The second place car, car 91. That's Bob Foster. Third and 53, Charlie Stevens. Great battle back there for third. Charlie Stevens trying to fend off Jeff Gibson. 6 laps the distance. Jeff Gibson, you see that car. He doesn't want to turn. He's got that car 3 turned hard right, left rather, and it's not turning. Here's your leader halfway. That's Jerry Embody. Jerry Embody, the leader. Second and 91, Bob Foster. Third is Charlie Stevens. Jeff Gibson is fourth. White flag to Jerry Embody. 5 laps down, 1 remains. Charlie Stevens runs third. Here's your winner in car number 6, Jerry Embody. Second, Bob Foster. Here comes Charlie Stevens. He'll be third. Jeff Gibson is fourth. And fifth in car 93. I'm sorry, 93, Dave Saxer. So again, folks, number dos. That's 2 for those of you in Rio Linda. Heat race number 2, 91. That is Terry Parrish, I believe it is. Terry Parrish, and alongside in 105, Wayne Buckingham. Terry Gibson starts third on car 0. Mike Hogan's in 75, and on the tail, Kelly Pendleton, who is Chad Pendleton's cousin. Chad running in the Sportsman division here tonight. 6 laps the second wing sprint car heat race. Tight cluster of cars through turns 1 and 2. Pulling away a bit, that's Terry Parrish. Now in tight battle, Wayne Buckingham slipping back a couple spots. Up to second spot. Now in car 0 is Terry Gibson. Terry Gibson in 0 runs second. Pulling away is Terry Parrish. Third place, that's car 75, Mike Hogan. Kelly Pendleton looks to the outside of car 75, Mike Hogan. Pendleton on the outside, much like Chad, his cousin, ran last week in the Sportsman division. Halfway, 3 laps are down. And the outside pass. Great side-by-side racing. Kelly Pendleton making his presence felt. He started last. He'll go after Gibson next. Your leader, however, is Terry Parrish. And look at the Pendleton kid go. Kelly Pendleton, a Porter Midget graduate, as is his cousin, Chad Pendleton. He's got his sights set on that win. He's got a lap to go. Kelly Pendleton closing down. He's using that outside lane, but through turns 3 and 4, your winner. Started up front, it's Terry Parrish. Pendleton will finish second. Third goes to Gibson. Fourth is car 75, Mike Hogan. And fifth, Wayne Buckingham. So again, folks, we know that we did schedule this late. We don't have a lot of these cars, but I think if we plan ahead a little bit, in 1998 we can get a significantly more cars. Competitive indeed. Here is your trophy dash. These are the fastest 4 qualifiers from qualifications earlier this evening in the Limited Sportsman division. John Strobel from London, Ohio starts first. Outside 17, that's Dave Ritchie Jr. Jimmy Kidd is on the back row along with Randy Sward. Sward, your fast qualifier tonight, 4 laps. John Sward, and look at Jimmy Kidd sideways down into turn number 1. Slips up, touches Randy Sward. Kidd off the pace. Now he's picking it back up. We got a battle up front meantime. John Strobel and Dave Ritchie Jr. battle out for that top spot. Ritchie falls in the line. He'll look to the inside of Strobel on turn 2. Strobel protects the bottom. We'll get the cross flags from starter Jim Paul this time. Halfway. Now your fast qualifier, Randy Sword, showing some strength. That's why he was fast time tonight. He's working that outside lane. He'll go after Dave Ritchie Jr. And next on his hit parade, John Strobel. We got a lap left. You saw the white flag from Jim Paul. Now Sword again challenging. Down the backstretch they go. John Strobel holding that tight line. Here comes Sword. It's going to be close. Your winner, John Strobel. Give second to Dave Ritchie Jr. Third, Randy Sword in fourth. Jimmy Kidd comes home in fourth spot. Put your hands together, make some noise. Again, the winner, John Strobel. Strobel, of course, the point leader in this division. That is his second Trophy Dash victory of 1998. He has 7 feature victories this season. And I mentioned earlier, John currently leads the Heartland region for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series in the short track division, the division for our 45-year winner, John Strobel, a car sponsored by the Limited Sportsman division. Next, this the cars that qualified toward the back of the pack. They are grouped by speed in this heat race. We got Dan Gregory in 18 alongside 61 Mark Jordan. Then comes Jeff Loudermilk in the 06 and Jim Hersey, who spun and crashed early in qualifying, got that car back out there. He starts fourth. Sam Spadero, Scott Stevens, and in car 88 starting out back. Car 88, that's Gene Griffith. Meantime, we got Mark Jordan showing his strength. He draws out ahead of Dan Gregory, leading lap number 1. We're looking for 8 laps the distance. Jim Hersey. Now look at Hersey. He's trying that second groove. Nothing doing. We're halfway through this one. 4 racing laps in the books. Mark Jordan checking out. That guy's in another time zone. We got caution on the Speedway. No, folks, you're not going crazy. There are no spun cars on the Speedway, but what has happened is what's affectionately known as breaking out. In other words, Mark Jordan qualified earlier, and let's see here. See what his qualifying time was. Mark Jordan, earlier his qualifying time was 16.280. He's allowed to run 0.25 of a second faster than that. So Mark Jordan could run somewhere in the neighborhood of 16.03 in the race and still be okay. He has run more than a quarter of a second faster than his qualifying time, Mark Jordan has, in the race. So he will go to the tail for the restart. Again, we do this in order to make the guys do the best they can and qualify as quickly as possible, so that we don't. And I'm not suggesting for a minute, but so that we do not have a situation. And again, I'm not suggesting Mark has done this at all, but to alleviate the possibility that anyone would want to sandbag. And again, I'm not suggesting Mark that was the case with Mark Jordan, but we do have a breakout rule, and we only allow the guys to run a quarter of a second faster than their qualifying time. That makes them do their level best to qualify the best they can. Now the way to avoid what just happened to Mark Jordan, he could have elected to start on the tail, and we could have timed him during the heat race, assigned him a new time so that he would not have had this problem. But Jordan started up front and was checking out and was running too much faster than his qualifying time. He goes to the tail. We got 4 laps down. Dan Gregory takes over the lead. Dan Gregory in 18. Look at Scott Stevens. He pulls to the outside of Loudermilk. Stevens on the roll in car 26. He is up to the 3rd spot. Whoa, Jim Hersey with a spin down the front stretch. This Midwest Racing Series. It's still Dan Gregory out front. And Scott Stevens trying to track him down. Stevens to the inside of Gregory down the backstretch. And now out front is Scott Stevens. Gregory now left to try to defend his 2nd spot over Loudermilk. Here comes Sam Spadero in car 51 challenging Jeff Loudermilk. 1 lap to go. The white flag waved that time by through turns 1 and 2. Stevens now with about a 4-car length advantage. And your winner is 4th heat race win of 1998, Scott Stevens. And we got trouble with Loudermilk. He spins across the finish line. Heat trap capital of the world, Scott Stevens. KP car. Here's your lineup. We got Bob Gruball in car number 5, starting up front. 21, that's Donnie Miller. 10 is Raleigh Hyder Jr. and alongside in car 20, that's Mike Brown. He's won the last 2 Saturday nights in the feature event here at the Speedway. Then comes Donald Parsons and Tom Jones, the rookie. And finally, Jamie Hunt in car number 4. These are the cars that qualified 5th through 10th or 11th spot. In qualifying earlier, they got 8 laps the 2nd limited sportsman heat race. Donnie Miller trouble down into turn number 1. He's from Springfield and off the pace early now. It looks like he's picking back up. Your leader of lap 1, Bob Gruball. A great race back there for 2nd position. Raleigh Hyder Jr. in 10. And Mike Brown in 20. Gruball with 2 previous heat race victories here in 1998. Looking to make it number 3. Scoreboard, 3 laps complete. Gruball leads Hyder. The Galena, Ohio driver, Raleigh Hyder Jr. holding down the runner-up spot. Again, the cross flag signifying to the drivers halfway. 4 laps down, 4 remain. Now Donald Parsons trying to take advantage of Mike Brown to cash in on that 3rd position. The battle is for 3rd position between Parsons and Brown. Through turns 3 and 4, scoring his third heat race victory of 1998, Bob Gruball. Hyder was second, third, too close to call. We'll have to wait for official scoring. They're going to flip a coin here. Let's see. Heads, it was Donald Parsons finishing third. 20, Mike Brown was your fourth place car. That was a, wait a minute, that was a two-headed coin. We're going to have to flip that again. Finishing fifth was car number 4, Jamie Hunt. So your official finishing order is correct on the Winston scoreboard. Mark it down. For those of you keeping score at home, it was a 4-3-2 double play. The young man who has led the point standings all season long until last Saturday night. That's Mike Holland. Holland in 97, the entrepreneur, owns a couple of lounges on the northwest side of the city. Mike Holland starts first alongside from Springfield, Ohio, Mike Stacy. Then in the back row, car 72, the Bob Evans Camaro. That is Robbie Pyle. And on the tail, his first best qualifying effort of 1998, car number 11, Scott Drake. 4 cars, your fastest 4 qualifiers. By the way, the inversion was a number 6. 6 inversion for the late models tonight. We talked about Neubauer earlier off the PA system, and he said that Stacy and crew had trouble with the transmission on this car earlier. They got her out for the trophy dash. Stacy, the leader. Mike Holland is close by. And an excellent run this racing night for Scott Drake. He runs third. We're halfway through this one. Mike Stacy has 4 Trophy Dash victories so far in 1998. He now holds a car length advantage over the Odd Lots Camaro of Holland. 1 lap remains. Drake still trying to make something happen in the outside groove. And your winner, Mike Stacy. Second to Mike Holland. Third goes to Scott Drake. And rounding out the field in car 72, Robbie Pyle. We're ready for the first late model heat race. This is the Car Winston Racing Series late model first heat race. We got Eric Withers and Ed Schillerit making up a row at number 1. Then comes Denny Dean, and on the outside in 58 tonight, subbing for his son Ken White. That is Burgess White in 58. 81, that's Don Wettenall, a former track champion here. Tommy Simpson alongside in the Safe Auto Camaro. Then we've got 5, that's Gary Carter, 94. The Big Bird, Robbie Dean. Then comes 12. That looks to be 02 rather. His sport is 02. Matt Gribble Jr. And in 76, Ray Muncie. 10 laps for the first late model heat race. Eric Withers, the former Pro 4 driver, squirts out to that early lead. Robbie Dean off the pace in car 94. Your leader is Eric Withers. Now Burgess White moves into the second spot. Ed Schillerit trying to fend off Tommy Simpson for third. Simpson now up to third. He'll go after Burgess White next. It's still Eric Withers showing the way. Eric Withers, Burgess White, Tommy Simpson, Ed Schillerit. The veteran Burgess White putting some pressure on that rookie Eric Withers. Former quarter midget driver Tommy Simpson now to the outside of Burgess. Halfway. Here comes Burgess White to the inside of Eric Withers. First place up for grabs there through turn 4. And give it to Burgess White. Following him through is Tommy Simpson. Withers back to 3rd. There's a tight battle for 4th spot. Schilleret has it. Mac Gribble wants it. And now Mac Gribble Jr. up to 4th. Withers trouble down there in 1 and 2. Loses a bunch of ground. We got Simpson going after Burgess White down the front stretch. Simpson looking into the outside lane. He'll try to switch back underneath. White flag. Now about a half a lap to go for Burgess White. And the winner, Burgess White. Heat race win number 3 for Burgess White here in 1998. Tommy Simpson comes home in 2nd. Eric Withers, your 3rd place car. Then it's Mac Gribble Jr. Don Wetnall coming home in 5th in car 81. So the old man shows the son how it's done. Burgess involved in a nasty accident here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Donnie Zero Hill in 16. Outside of him is Mike Simpson. And next row, it's Jerry Jones in car 23 and Donnie Renner in 92. Then comes Mike Ward in 61. And alongside Jerry Mitchell in car number 6. Tim Ice is in car number 1. Danny Eves in car 9. By the way, that will be your front row in the feature, Ice and Eves. Then we've got Buddy Townsend and Skip Thornton. 10 laps the distance for the 2nd late model heat race. Going at it with Donnie Zero Hill for that top spot. Now Zero Hill draws away from Simpson. He's going to have to try to fend off Jerry Jones now. Simpson and Jones swapping a little paint. Now Mitchell joins the fray. Jones trying that second groove with Simpson outside of him. Jerry Mitchell slips inside and battles for 2nd. Checking out in car number 0 is Donnie Hill. Jerry Mitchell now up to the 2nd position. After Mitchell, the 2nd spot up for grabs. White flag for Donnie Hill. Through turns 3 and 4. Your winner, Donnie Zero Hill. Mitchell is 2nd, Tim Ice 3rd. Mike Simpson and Danny Eves round up the top 5. This, believe it or not, the first, I believe, heat race victory of 98 rather, for Donnie Zero Hill. That will do it for the late model preliminary action. Okay, now it's straight stock action time. This is our third stock car division of the evening. Flying time here tonight. And alongside in car number 6, Bill Huntley. 46 is next, and that's Carl Katz. And alongside in car number 18, the current point leader, going after his first career track championship here in 1998, as is Bill Huntley, his nemesis. That's Bo Davis. Four cars, 4 laps. That's straight stock trophy dash. John Morgan holds this point. Carl Katz spinning down there in turn 2. Unless we have a car stopped on the track for an extended period of time in this class, we do not throw the yellow. Everybody getting it rolling. Again, we don't throw yellow, we only throw red. And that's if we have a car stopped on the racetrack and in harm's way. And everybody got it back going. We're completing lap number 3 this time. Your leader is John Morgan. Through turns 1 and 2, down the backstretch, Morgan goes. And your winner, his first Trophy Dash victory this season, John Morgan. Gives second to the point leader, Bo Davis. Third goes to Bill Huntley. And fourth, Carl Katz in car 46. Again, your winner, John Morgan. P&B Auto Parts, one of the proud sponsors on that Thunderbird, along with Thomas Door Controls, High-Tech Material Handling, Central College Supply Company, Harold D. Hard Company, JVM Enterprises, and Synergen Racing Oil. For this, the first street stock heat race, we got Adam Conroy in car number 1, alongside in car 87, John Sadensky. Paul Baker Jr. in the double 6, and alongside Dave Dysinger. Then comes 98, Dave McConaughey, 61, Chris Meyer, and 72, Eddie Matheson.
And from the Adam Conroy Motorsports in-car camera, we start this race. Green flag for Adam Conroy. He's your pole setter. Outside him was the 66 of Paul Baker Jr. And we're going to complete the first lap here. Adam Conroy, your leader.
Racing around the 3rd mile oval now. Baker moves ahead. Also a pass back there for force by Chris Meyer, taking over from Dave Dysinger. Now Sadensky closes in on Adam Conroy. The cross flags. We are halfway through this first street stock heat race. Eddie Matheson has started last. He's pulled into that 5th spot. completing lap number 5, this time past the start-finish line.
And back inside the cockpit with Adam Conroy, and Adam Conroy with a problem. You see him put up his hand and back out of the car, pull into the grass, into the infield. And it looks like this could be a terminal problem for Adam Conroy, car number 1. And I think we're done.
Track down Baker with 1/3 of a mile remaining. Meyer is closing, but he's still got about 6 car lengths to close in and only a half a lap to do it. Through turn number 4, your winner, Paul Baker Jr. So he won the feature last Saturday night, and this week he takes home his 4th heat race victory of 1998. See, I had to think about what year it was. This guy, by the way, has won the his last 4 heat races in a row. The last 4 race nights, Paul Baker Jr. Next event on the racing order here tonight, and then we'll run the street stock last chance race. So this race and one more race before intermission. Gary Lamer is in car 34, starting on the front row, along with Don Townsend Jr. Second row in 29, that is Rusty Mortimer tonight. And in 12, George Lindsay. Then comes Bruce Holmes, Scott Barney, Kevin Lococo, and Randy Tharp rounding out the field. Jr. leads down the backstretch. George Lindsay is second, Gary Lamer third. Scott Barney off the pace just a bit in 84 now. He's got her rolling once again. It's Don Townsend Jr. showing the way. Townsend with 3 heat race victories so far in 1998. Townsend about 10 car lengths, 8 car lengths call it, over Lindsay. Lindsay looks to be closing just a skosh. Down, 3 remain. Lindsay continues. Reel in your leader. Got Gary Lamer in 34. Bruce Holmes in 88. 3, Kevin Lococo. That's your top 5. Bed sheet time, the white flag. This time past start finish line. Townsend trying to fend off Lindsay. And your winner, Don Townsend Jr., second to Lindsay. This will be close. Gary Lamer is third. We'll have to wait for 4th and 5th. Kevin Lococo finishes 4th. and Bruce Holmes in 5th.
Last chance on track, let's go.
Your winner, Don Townsend Jr. Quickly, the sponsors on Townsend's car include Jack Maxton Chevrolet and a host of others. I've got all those sponsors on here. I do. Buckeye Muffler, Classic Transport, Dan Burns and Jack Maxton Chevrolet, B&B Pizza Stevens, Custom Touch, Powell Enterprises, and B&B Auto Parts. We're going to head back now. Here is quickly your lineup for the last chance race. 4 cars move into the feature. In the street stock division, we got Ron Magus and 94. Jeremy Dennis. Then comes Ron McManus. And 52 is Jerry Williams Jr., J.R. Fred, John Beverly, Mike Litchfield, Russ Harper, Jim New, Gary Van Scoy, Bobby Porter, and Tim Grady. That's your field for tonight's last chance race. And we got trouble. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Jim New and Gary Van Scoy, red flag. That obviously, that
Grady, that's your field for tonight's last chance race. And we got trouble. That's going to leave a mark. Jim New and Gary Ross are raised.
I believe that's a good sign, but we'll wait for confirmation of that. Again, that was Gary Van Scoy in 08, and Jim New in car number 15, I believe, were the 2 cars involved. And the report from the scene of the accident is they are okay, so let's hear it. Here we go. We're ready to do battle. 8, I believe it's 8 laps. I better check that. 10 laps. I'm sorry, 10 laps. 10 laps the distance. The top 4 finishers move on to the feature. Everybody else puts it on the trailer and has a cold one. I guess some of the top 4 may have a cold one. We never know. Bubba Parsons showing the way. Bubba wadded up his familiar car 22, and now tonight drives the 00, normally piloted by Ron Magus. Jeremy Dennis is in 94. That car, the 94 car, is for sale. The 94 car of Jeremy Dennis, that's for sale. Third in the event, that's Ron McManus and Jerry Williams Jr. Goes down 4th. Now we got J.R. Fred spinning. John Beverly apparently disqualified for rough driving there. Beverly in 39. Mike Litchfield, that moves him up to 5th spot. Here's your leaders. They work to the outside of the disqualified car of John Beverly. Oh, we got half of this baby in the record books. Bubba Parsons. Second is still Jeremy Dennis. Third, Ron McManus. Fourth, and holding on to that 4th spot as the final transfer car Again, this race, the last chance race used to determine the final 4 starters in tonight's street stock feature event. The 19 car soon to be a lap down. The leader is car 000. 1 lap to go. Lap traffic ahead for Bubba Parsons, but it won't come into play. Your winner in car 22, Bubba Parsons, second to Jeremy Dennis. Third place, Ron McManus. Fourth is Jerry Williams Jr. and fifth, Mike Litchfield. Vida Burns to the base of the tower, please. Vida Burns, please report to the base of the tower. Victory here at the Speedway 1 year ago. Now he's got some breathing room, about 2 car lengths over the flying Batman Heavy Hill. 1 lap remains. Jeremy Dennis getting the second win. He's trying to catch back up on that outside. Here comes Heavy, outside of Chris Keynes. This should be a battle. Your winner is gonna be close. Chris Keynes, second to Heavy Hill. Third to Kevin Lococo. Jeremy Dennis. Fourth and fifth is George Lindsay. We got Chris Meyer. He'll start first in car 61. Then Danny Brown substituting in car 93. Danny Brown in 93. 66, Paul Baker Jr. 6 is Bill Hundley. We've got 3 6s in the second row. That's a demonic row. 66 and 6. Bo Davis in 18. Then we got Rusty Mortimer, Gary Lamer, and out back we're looking at Bubba Parsons. 8 racing laps. Skeens a little sideways, comes out of it okay. Paul Baker Jr. challenging the 93 car. For second. Little butt control going on up front there. And smoke, heavy smoke. The reason for the black flag to Chris Meyer. Chris Meyer, I called him Skeens earlier, that's Chris Meyer in 61, out off on the backstretch. Now Danny Brown holds the top spot, and we got Huntley doing donuts in turn 2. Hunley, red flag is out. We're ready to get back underway. 4 laps are down, 4 remain. Danny Brown, your leader. Baker Jr. all over your leader, Danny Brown. Rusty Mortimer runs third. Challenging for that spot is Bubba Parsons. And we got old Bubba doing donuts in turn 2 now. Danny Brown, second to Paul Baker Jr., third Rusty Mortimer, fourth is Gary Lamer, and coming around in 5th spot, that's Bubba Parsons. The final event before a brief intermission will be the Street Stock Last Chance Race. All right, here we go with tonight's Last Chance Race for the Street Stocks. 10 laps for transfer. Matheson in 72, 85 Robert Jewell, 14 Rick Curtin, Bobby Porter in 55, Dale Butts in 44, 10 is Russ Harper, 98 Dean Stuckey, 19 J.R. Friend, 27 is Dave Dysinger, and 08 Gary Van Scoy. Now we got bumper tag in turn 4, hello. Contact. All the cars trying to get rolling. We got them all moving. And red flag is out, red flag. Okay, reline them up. Matheson in car number 72. 14, Rick Curtin, Dale Butts in 44-10. Russ Harper, 98, Dean Stuckey, J.R. Friend in 19. Walter Kimball in 15. And in 08, that's Gary Van Scoy. Again, we're looking for the top 4 finishers to move into the feature event. Eddie Matheson, the man on the move, in car 72, Rick Curtin. And he goes side by side. Dale Butts runs third. Your last transfer car at this point is Dean Stuckey, the world's oldest man. It's still Eddie Matheson showing the way in car 7-2. The Cincinnati, Ohio driver Rick Curtin runs second. Dale Butts currently ranked third. And fourth at this juncture, Dean Stuckey. Now Stuckey a little sideways in turn 4. Harper closes on 98. That should be a good battle for the last transfer spot. They'll be halfway home this time, past the start-finish line. Up here comes Russell once again to the inside of Dean Stuckey. The battle for that fourth and final transfer spot rages down through turns 1 and 2. Stuckey does pretty well through turns 1 and 2. We'll see if he does better in 3 and 4 this time. Meantime, a great battle up front. Kurt gets Matheson a little sideways off of turn 2. Lets him recover, and everybody keeps her headed in the north-south direction. Two laps to go. Now Dean Stuckey draws away about a half a straightaway over 5th place, Russ Harper. Still Dale Butts 3rd, Rick Curtin 2nd. Oh, Eddie Matheson sideways in turn 4 now. This should be a great battle. 1 lap to go. Rick Curtin takes over. And your winner, Rick Curtin. Eddie Matheson is 2nd. 3rd goes to Dale Butts. 4th, Dean Stuckey. 5th, just missing the transfer, is Russ Harper. There will be a brief intermission, ladies and gentlemen. We got to sweep off the track and try to get all the debris cleared off.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's happening.
That's the wisdom from Bubba.
Here's your lineup. Starting first in car 45, the guy who was making that outside groove work earlier from from Marysville, Ohio, Kelly Pendleton in 45. Kelly Pendleton in 45. Alongside in car number 0, that is Terry Gibson. Terry Gibson from Richwood, Ohio. The second row, car 53. Out of Plymouth, Ohio, car 53. The driver is Charlie Stevens. And outside of row 2 in car number 6, Jerry Inbody from Findlay, Ohio. Car 91 is next. The 91X, that is Bob Foster from Fremont. And alongside 91, Terry Parrish from Richwood, Ohio. Next, we've got car 3, Jeff Gibson. 75 is Mike Hogan from Marion. 93, that's David Saxer Jr., Vickery, Ohio, the hometown there. 105, Wayne Buckingham. And car 44, Paul Hemrick from Fostoria, Ohio. Yellow Pendleton in 55, and 0, Terry Gibson. Take up the front row. They're going 15 laps around the 3rd mile paved oval. We're racing. Gibson off the pace just a bit. In car 6, that takes over 2nd spot. That's Jerry Inbody. Whoa, Kelly Pendleton sideways. Your leader is Kelly Pendleton. 2nd is Jerry Inbody. Pendleton drawing that outside lane. Now he's got her down on the bottom. Bob Foster in 91 runs 3rd. Here comes 2nd place. Jerry Inbody, but Pendleton holds him off. Jerry Inbody from car number 6 out of Findlay, Ohio, trying to chase down your leader. Bob Foster to the outside of Inbody. Foster now on the move. Kelly Pendleton nearly spins that car down in turn 1. still Kelly Middleton, Bob Foster, Jerry Embody, Jeff Gibson. Middleton again, sideways. There goes Foster to the outside of Kelly Middleton. Now Middleton trying to hold off Embody. Lap traffic ahead for Bob Foster. Pendleton picking his way through lap traffic in the 45 car. Your leader is still Bob Foster. Car 91, he'll get the white flag this time. 1 lap to go. Pendleton is still second, Embody third. Jeff Gibson in number 3 is fourth, and 53 is fifth. Here comes your winner from Findlay, Bob Foster. Kelly Pendleton is second. Third goes to Embody. Here's your fourth place car, Jeff Gibson. And fifth is Charlie Stevens in 53. So green to checkered. The Wing Sprint cars. What do you think about the Wing Sprint cars, folks? This report.
Well, Jeff takes a little bit to get out of these things. They've got the harness in. They're a little tighter in here than they are in the stockers, but Bobby getting everything peeled off, got the balaclava off, got the gloves off, and he'll be coming out of this race car as he calls up through the top and now gets down out of it. How about a big round of applause? Here's our feature winner, Bobby Foster. For Bob, first time you've been to Columbus and walked into victory lane?
This is my first asphalt race I've ever been at.
First time on asphalt ever?
First time ever, yeah.
Let's move up here so these people down here in the other corner can see it too. What'd you think? You know, you don't go sideways by turning right here.
No, it was a lot of fun. Totally different. You just got to be smooth on and off the gas. And, if it wasn't for Clay kind of guy sets the car up, we wouldn't even think about being here.
Yeah, Clay kind of knows what to do on asphalt, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty much the king when it comes to asphalt racing.
Well, listen, hopefully we'll see you guys back here next year. The crowd seemed to like it, and congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, we hope to come back. We're glad you guys put us on, and hopefully we put on a good show for the fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, how about a big round of applause? There's your feature winner, Bobby Foster.
Okay, I'll get you the top 10 rundown here for tonight's Limited Sportsman feature event. Starting first in car 26, Scott Stevens, and alongside in 5, Bob Grubal. The second row, Donnie Miller in 21, and car number 10, Raleigh Hyder Jr. In row 3, we find Mike Brown in 20 and 22, Donald Parsons. In comes 77, Tom Jones. Car number 4, Jamie Hunt. 45, John Strobel. 17, Dave Ritchie Jr. 25, Jimmy Kidd. Starting 12th, your fast qualifier. That's Randy Sword. Then comes Jim Hersey, Jeff Loudermilk, Sam Spadero, Mark Jordan. Car number 18, Dan Gregory, and starting 18th shotgun on the field, Gene Griffith. The Jack Maxton Chevrolet Pace Truck pulls off the racetrack on the backstretch. We're ready to go at it. 30 laps for the Limited Sportsman feature event. Scott Stevens in 26, Bob Grubal in number 5. Donnie Miller out of Springfield, Ohio. He runs third in car 21. 2x2 battle. Stevens on, and we got caution on the Speedway. Dan Gregory in car number 18 with the spin. Dan Gregory in car 18, the spinner down in the fourth turn. Trying to slip inside of Scott Stevens. Stevens holds him off. Started third, now he's going after your leader, Scott Stevens. Back there in the back is Randy Sward. Sward started 12th. He is up to 5th spot. Miller now pulls even with your race leader. With a slight advantage over Scott Stevens. Stevens hard back into turn 4. They touch. Stevens sideways. And your new leader is Donnie Miller. Stevens back to 2nd spot. 3rd is Bob Grubal. 4th, Mike Brown. And up to 5th place from 12th starting position, Randy Sward. Checking out in 21. Up the 4th spot now is Randy Sward. Through this one. Going after car 26, and caution is out. Qualified 15.965. And he is running more than a quarter of a second faster than that in racing competition. And tough break for the Springfield, Ohio rookie driver, 98, and he must go to the tail for the restart. So here we go. We're ready to rock and roll. Scott Stevens picks up the lead. Again, the yellow flag was thrown for 21. Donnie Miller in a breakout situation previous to the spin by Mike Brown. Mike Brown looks like a deflating right rear tire for Mike Brown. So it looks like Mike Brown, the car very sideways. Tough break for the feature winner the last 2 weeks here. Mike Brown is pulling out in car number 20. Go this time. Look at Randy Swart. He started 12th. He now runs second. Swart closing on Scott Stevens. Swart looks to the outside of Scott Stevens. Down the backstretch they go. Bob Grubauer joins in. Jamie Hunt runs fourth in car number 4. Being ajar on the Swart car cannot be helping the aerodynamics. He's struggling to try to get past Stevens. Five laps to go this time. It's anybody's race. Here comes Dave Ritchie in car 17. Kid also up to challenging car 25. Whoa, Dave Ritchie nearly spins after contact with Jamie Hunt. Ritchie hangs on. Stevens sideways in turn 4. Remain the next time by. Stevens in 26 now. Swart slips. Grubauer takes over sole possession of second place. Grubauer into the back of Stevens. 1 lap to go. Bob Grubauer and Randy Swart apparently will duke it out for second. Through turns 3 and 4, Stevens trying to hang on. Your winner, Scott Stevens. Okay, we'll have to wait for the official finish. Bob Grubauer comes home second. Randy Swart finishes third. Fourth to Dave Ritchie Jr. and fifth apparently to Jimmy Kidd. We're going down trackside to Bob Neubauer. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he climbs out of the car with a big smile on his face. Scott Stevens. Scott, you don't know what was going on behind you the whole time, but there was a lot of cars back there.
Well, I know there was a bunch of cars back there. I know I ran a couple people ragged, but you know they was behind me and they was running me a little ragged too. And sportsman class first year, you know, just get a little nervous and just overextend your car, and you know I'm glad I won.
Hey, this is you moved up from street stocks, and competition gets a little tougher up here, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, Jim Kidd and the 08 car, the 17 car, they're real competitors. The 45 car Strobe, well, I was expecting to see him out there. I was glad that I didn't get to see anybody out there. I know Gruball running a good race, and I'm just glad I won tonight.
Well, you did it all.
I'd like to say a couple things. I appreciate everything Jerry Buck's done for me. David Carter's helped me this week, last week, tore the car up, got it back together, and I don't have any sponsors on my car except Cheers 2, but I'd like to thank Robert J. Kleinrig Incorporated, Direct Painting, Buck Racing Repair, and KP Cars. Thank you.
Well, go up there, Jack Max, and those guys got a great trophy for you. How about once again a big round of applause, Scott Stevens.
Okay, here is the lineup for tonight's 40-lap NASCAR Winston Racing Series late model feature. In car number 1, Tim the Iceman Ice in 1. And alongside in car number 9, Danny Eves. Second row, 97, that's Mike Holland. And 72, the driver is Robbie Pyle. Starting 5th in car number 11, fast qualifier Scott Drake. He'll be going after the Riverside Auto Parts $100 bonus tonight. And alongside, going after the certified oil bonus tonight, $5,400, I think it is, Mike Stacy. Jerry Mitchell is next in car number 6. Then comes Mike Ward in 61. 92, that's Donnie Renner. And 23, Jerry Jones. Car 31 is Buddy Townsend. And 6, Skip Thornton. 16, that's Mike Simpson. And then comes Donnie Zero Hill. Don Wetnall, Tommy Simpson, Gary Carter, Robbie Dean, Burgess White, Ray Muncie, Mac Gribble in 02. Then comes 12, Denny Dean, 63, Ed Schillard, and 44, Eric Withers. He'll pull out of the way, and we're ready to do battle. 40 laps for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series late model feature. False start the call. False start the call. Danny Eves picked up the pace too fast over there on the end of the backstretch. Taking her up a little better this time. Ice on the inside, Eves on the outside. Your leader is Tim Ice. Danny Eves runs second. Simpson in 16 is out. And yellow flag, Skip Thornton. Skip Thornton in car 86 brings out the caution. Trying it outside lane on the outside of Mike Holland. car number 7 on the move. 5 laps complete this time. Mike Holland nearly spins. Holland nearly spins in turn 2. Stacy gets 4th spot. Ice pulling up on the back deck of Eric Withers, the lap car straight ahead. Takes over fifth spot. Ward at 61, now up to fifth. Ten laps to go, 10 to go. A battle for first. It's Tim Ice and Danny Eves. The second place battle. Robbie Pyle and Mike Stacy. Complete lap 34 this time. Danny Eves to the outside of the race leader. Five laps this time. Here comes Eves. White flag this lap, white flag. Eves again, pressuring Ice. Your winner, Tim Ice. With his first feature victory of 1998, the Iceman, Tim Ice. Ice becomes the 10th difference.
Well, he's got a big hoot and howler going on inside this race car right now, and as he gets the helmet off and comes out, ladies and gentlemen, winner may be coming, but the Iceman's here already this evening. There's your feature winner, Tim Ice, a happy guy climbing out of the race car. Hey, Tim, you guys have been working hard all year, but this one kind of makes it worthwhile.
Oh, it makes it worthwhile. After that main event race the other night when we had such an excellent car and had 2 flat tires, my father-in-law's going to let me drive this car, and I'll tell you what, starting position here on a regular show is really, really critical. Getting to start in the front, but I'll tell you, you got to stay there too. And I want to thank Dan Eves. He got into me there a little bit, let me get straightened out, and that's just real good racing. I'm glad to be here, and thanks a lot, everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a good run. How about another big round of applause? Your feature winner, Tim Ice.
Car 87, Sadinsky, and car 71, Scott Hoffman. In the second row, Paul Baker Jr. and Dave Dysinger. 98, that's Dave McConaughey. 61, Chris Meyer. 72 is Matheson, Eddie Matheson, and 34, Gary Lamer. Then comes Don Townsend Jr. in 77. 29, keep in mind, folks, tonight is Rusty Mortimer. 12, George Lindsay. 88, Bruce Holmes. 84, Scott Barney. Car number 3, Kevin Lococo. 07, John Morgan. Number 6, Bill Hundley. 46, Carl Katz. 18, Bo Davis. 00, that's Bubba Parsons tonight. 94, that car's for sale. That's Jeremy Dennis. 53, Ron McManus. 52, Jerry Williams Jr. 95, Mike Litchfield. And 47, Randy Tharp. So that lineup, we're going to go at it for 25 racing laps here on Kids Night at the Races. John Sadinsky gets the jump. But here comes Paul Baker Jr. in 66. Scott Hoffman in 71 runs third. Baker with about a half car length advantage over John Sadinsky. That's still Scott Hoffman, Dave McConaughey, and who else we got back there? We got Kevin Lococo spinning down in turn 3. Lococo is moving, so we will stay under green. Baker Jr. out front. Paul Baker Jr. And now we got Scott Hoffman spinning in turn 4. Hoffman is moving, but now we got another car, and we got red flags. Okay, white flag will start the next time by with 5 laps complete, 20 remaining. Paul Baker Jr. leads us back to green. That's John Sadinsky second. The outside of Sadinsky. Second spot is the balance. Got started back in 13th spot. He is now, let's see, 7th place. now Bill Hundley is one spot ahead of Bo Davis at this point. Now Lindsay and Don Townsend Jr., the battle is for third. Calls it a night in car 88. And we got Ron McManus doing some agricultural racing in 53. Your leader is still Baker. Second is still John Sadinsky. Down the backstretch. 5 laps to go this time. He's got him about 15 car lengths over John Sadinsky, Don Townsend Jr., Chris Meyer, and George Lindsay. Meyer gets swirly there in turn 4, loses some positions, but keeps the handle. Baker now with lap traffic, he's working the outside of Jerry Williams. Now George Lindsay slowing in car number 12. Lindsay is off the pace. George Lindsay very slow along the outside of the racetrack. And your winner this time, car 66, Paul Baker Jr. Second place, close, but given, I believe, to John Sadinsky. Third spot was Don Townsend Jr. Fourth was Eddie Matheson. And fifth, Chris Meyer. So a wild, wild race. Thanks for coming out, folks. A great night of racing entertainment at Columbus Motor Speedway. Look at your watch. It's 10:20. We're getting out of here at a reasonable hour. Somebody was smiling on us tonight. So once again, thanks for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. A full night of racing entertainment. And feature winners, of course, Bob Foster in the swing sprint cars. In the sportsman, it was Scott Stevens. In late models, Tim Ice. And now Paul Baker Jr. And standing with him is Bob Neubauer.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're out there, you just kind of walked away and let them all behind you.
Well, it wasn't for my crew chief, Sonny. My new addition to my race team, my outside advisor, Don Gregory Jr. I'd like to say happy birthday to Zach. Everybody else be on the car. Thanks a lot.
Did you win enough money tonight? Maybe next week you can buy a hood?
Can't push my luck.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, once again, there's your winner. Jeff, we had a